right, people, here I am, Rockhands the Caveman with my main man, Jake.
Yeah, I'm still here and I still don't have a nickname.
This is kind of, I guess you would say, technically our third time trying to do this ranking things, but we are for sure going to get it this time, or I quit. I'm not doing this shit again.
Rocky keeps fucking up.
Yes. Well, this was the week of 6-0s. I believe we had 3 6-0s, and like the rest were 5-0s and 4-0s.
Not necessarily like the week of 6-0s, but it was definitely the week of dominance. You saw a lot of battles get. I mean, there were some battles that were close at the beginning, but they finished pretty bad.
There's no way we see 3 6-0s in 1 week again. That's like crazy. That does not happen.
I mean, with the people we have in this league playing the way they are, you never know, man. You never.
Yeah, with people already trying to meme out and stuff, but we'll talk about that later. We'll jump.
The most surprising thing was that the 6-0s you saw, some of them, like at least for Ninetales, was one of the higher ranked people. You don't see that too often. The higher ranked people getting 6.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But when you're playing against other higher ranked people, anything can happen.
Yeah, sorry. We just needed to mention as many times in this video as Ninetales got 6-0 this week.
Alright, instead of saying Ninetales got 6-0'd again, let's go to our ranked 18th spot, and we have Calexo. And with Calex, like the very first, as soon as the week started, he battled, and you see his exact same team. I don't know if it had different sets.
Honestly, I thought they were the same sets as last week too.
Yeah, I that's what I thought. I thought they were the same set, so I don't know if he like even cares or tries. Like, you can't give up after 1 week that you lose, and then just like, oh, I don't care, and bring whatever. You need to put some effort.
Don't tell Frozen that.
Yeah. So really, I think he lost because of that. I don't think he put enough effort in, and then his opponent Silent put in some effort, and he had great great mons to stop his core that he brought.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of prep. There wasn't a whole lot of good play in there, and then I mean, Silent brought a really great set. Honestly, we'll talk about him in a little bit, but I just thought that Calixto was over. The match was over as soon as Calixto didn't prep. So that's all I really have to say about Calixto's game this week.
Yeah, and this is back-to-back weeks being at 18, so hopefully you can like get a win next week and move up the list. You don't want to be down there that long. It's not good. It's not good. So then coming at 17 is Frozen. And I've been super critical on Frozen and upset about it because he was my draft league #1 team, loved his team to play, and he ended up getting 6-0 this game.
Yeah, I thought a lot of his prep was really bad. No, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I thought that there was a lot of mistakes. I don't understand Stone Edge on Score. I thought I don't even know what it was trying to cover. I think Earthquake in almost every single situation would have been better. There were a couple mons that I felt like didn't do anything that match, and this match was awful to watch. There was no offensive firepower. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during it. It's hard to say.
I really enjoyed the match from his opponent's side, but from him, I was very upset. Like, he had 2 mons that were life orbs, and what ends up happening is they just died to the life orbs because of his opponent Dark just had good tanky mons that would just recover up or intimidate, so you're doing no damage to them, and you would just kill your life, and you had no way to bring it up yourself. So it was very poor because of that.
The life orb sets were really rough on him this week. I thought that, I mean, I like life orb. I think it's a good item. But I think he should have realized the way that Dark was playing, that it wasn't going to work out. Maybe he should have gone other mons first. The other thing I was disappointed about is I thought Infernape had a really, really good matchup this week, and I'm kind of upset that he didn't bring something like Nasty Plot Infernape. I'm pretty sure he brought Scarf. I think it could have gone a lot better if he brought like a different set. I just thought he tried to be creative, and I think it backfired a lot on him.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on the Infernape. I think just bad plays. Like, he kept on toxing Dark's Mon when he has Hill Bell and you've seen the Hill Bell, so now you're just wasting turns. And then I also Gliscor didn't have Toxic Orb, so I'm just gonna assume that it was Yachi for the Mamoswine.
Yeah, you see that Xiaoqi at some point in the match, but
Yeah.
I it was a bad idea. I mean, Mamoswine's gonna beat Gliscor even with Xiaoqi Berry.
Yeah, so it's like, why not give that Mon like the best recovery, and then you can't status it at all, not even like a burn or anything like that, and then do more with it, which he couldn't have done with the Gliscor, or he needed to predict because Dark threw out a bunch of poisons and he never switched in on it, which you gotta take that risk and get that poison.
We also really didn't like how near the end Frozen was asking for a Mon from Dark so he wouldn't get 6-0'd. I thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah,
really disrespecting your opponent.
You should never do that. It's like, I know you don't want to be embarrassed, but this is a competitive league and you need every differentials that you can get. So Dark did the right thing by not giving him a Mon, because he got 5-0'd the week before from you,
Yeah,
so he needed everything.
Dark definitely needed all the differential points he can
Yeah.
get just so he can get back to that 1-1 and then have a positive differential.
Yeah, so for anyone, please don't write that in chat. Like, if you want one Mon, you better prep good enough to get one Mon. It sometimes can be hard because he had a very bad game, but you take your ass whooping like a man, then basically, you know? No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, so I would usually say that the only reason you ever get 6-0'd is because how bad you prepped and played. There's one match this week that I disagree on that happening, but in this case, definitely he played and prepped poorly, and that's why he got 6-0'd, and he deserved to get 6-0'd.
Yeah. So let's move on to our 16, and our 16 is Bryce. How do you feel Bryce played in this game?
I was a little critical. I think we discussed this game a lot because Bryce is the kind of person that gets kind of down, and I mean, you've tried to mentor him at some points in his mons. So we discussed this battle a lot. You thought he played a little better. I was really critical at first, but the more I've seen this match 3 or 4 times now, and I didn't think he played as poorly as I thought the first time around. There's definitely, I saw a lot of misplays. I saw some prep errors, but really there was nothing glaring. I saw that really like, okay, Bryce, you're really bad. No, I just saw a lot of little stuff that if he can fix, like his season will go a lot better. The biggest thing being like forgetting that Cragnole gets freeze dry. I feel like that's one of the only reasons Cragnole's good.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That was one big mistake that he just forgot. And if I feel like if he remembered that, he would have been better off. Like, I think that game would have been even closer because I think he ends up losing like 4-0. But I think if he does that, I don't know if he would win, but I think it would be closer, like a 2-0 or 1-0 even, or even a chance to win. The other thing I was a little upset with, he got a Calm Mind up with his Raikou, and I wish he had Extra Sentry on that thing, because he had Aura Sphere, which hit his team pretty good, but the only thing that would like take no damage from that was the soundproof Kimono, and that might be something that he forgets, that ability. So you just do a little bit more research. But if you remember that and know that was going to switch in, you had a Calm Mind up, you Extra Sentry, you kill that thing. Then it's totally a different game. That's a threat just out.
Well, in my personal opinion, I feel like if you bring Calm Mind, you take out Volt Switch and put Extra Sensor on there.
Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't think about it, but I thought that definitely was the move to take off. I thought Aura Sphere was pretty good this game. I felt like maybe he knew Extra Sensor was there, but he just thought Thunderbolt, Volt Switch. But if you're running Calm Mind, I feel like it's a good idea to always go with a move that hits harder and you get more coverage that way. The one thing I will say is I really love the fact that he has Golbat and the way he used it this week. We saw Como put in a lot of work week 1, and it really didn't do a whole lot this week because he had that Golbat set that he played really well.
And if you're gonna lose a Golbat to kill a Komodo, you kind of win that trade.
It's a fair trade at that point.
Yeah. So then, go on.
One last thing is like I really do not like when people bring Mega Swampert without rain. It still hits really hard, but looking at Nakura's team, there's just too many things that beat it 1v1. So I thought that was a big deal. And not bringing, I don't know if he had it, but I didn't see Power Punch that match, and I feel like that could have been really good, especially against something like Alamola.
Yeah, I wonder if he had Rain Dance on his Swampert just to set it up for himself, but he never felt like he had a good time to do it. Because I'm okay with that, because it's nice to not always bring Rain when you have Rain, because it really messes with your opponent. Because that's what they prep for when they see that you're a Rain team. And just some advice to you, Bryce. Me and Jake, we're here. If you ever need help, ask us. We'll mock with you, give you some advice. We do think that you need to like drop a couple Pokemon and switch them out for other ones to make your team better, to fit your playstyle better. And I think you can start picking up some wins if you do stuff like that.
Yeah, so if this week you just want to send us a DM or just talk to us in general and talk about mons that might be good for you to pick up, or just strats that might be good for you in your next couple matches, feel free to do it.
Yeah. So now let's move on to our 15 spot, and you and me both ranked Jake Howes at 15. And so he's at 15. We both ranked him at 15. He's in his spot where he needs to be.
So I thought that Jake Cowles, I mean, I don't think he played well this week. His prep was terrible. You just saw a lot of misplays in the game. He kind of let that Tornadus just taunt him over and over again and not doing it.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing with me watching the thing, is like, you saw the Tornadus as taunt, it taunted you over and over, you were just letting Pokemon die after being toxic. You just had to hit it. Like, if you kept on hitting it, then he's wasting turns taunting you and you're wearing it down. And that hurt.
I think something we both agreed on too is like, if you have, I felt like Mimikyu had a really bad matchup this game, but if you have it and you're bringing it, I feel like you have to keep it in the back for Hawlucha.
Yeah, that's definitely, I actually mock battle against Killer, and I sometimes I did really good, and it was because Hawlucha could never do anything at all because I had Mimikyu with a Focus Sash. So I would come in, it would break my disguise, then I get to hit it, and then it would break me down the sash, and then I got to kill it. And then that's great because then you just got rid of Hawlucha. You didn't have to worry about anything else after that. But he played pool early. He got 6-0'd, and it was all because of the. What would you say? You think he was trying to overpredict?
I would say, I don't know. It's hard to say. I would just say too many misplays, honestly.
Yeah. I think he didn't, again, for me, I think he didn't predict enough.
If you know Taunt's there, the right move is always to click attack move just to hit the damage, so you always are moving towards that goal of killing him on.
Yeah.
So I think I understand why he was doing it, but I just disagree with his play completely.
Yeah. Especially with like Suicune out there, because it would have like Skulls would have done decent damage to Tornadus, and then whatever came in, you might get a burn on that.
Well, honestly, the way that Killer was playing it made it seem like if he had just kept scolding, it would have been fine. It would have come in at like 50% instead of like 80 every time, and then Scold will kill it or get really close. So I mean, I thought, especially with Scold doing over like the 33 you see from our generator, like I felt like it could have really been beneficial just to keep attacking and just hitting what's in front of you.
I also thought if somehow he could have brought rocks, which I only think he has one stealth rock user, that would have helped him out a lot too, because of all this switching stuff. And so you might want to think about that, maybe do another transaction where I think Gligar's your only rocker right now. That's kind of poor.
I mean, honestly, Gligar probably could have put in a lot of work in this match too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think all the mons he brought put in work too, and Gligar, and just, I think he had the mon. He just needs to play just a little bit better, and he'll be fine.
Well, I think especially with that Suicune Florges core, I think he has a chance to win every week.
Oh yeah, because those
He's
two,
just kinda,
those two are so annoying. They only get beat by taunt, and that's what happened.
You definitely saw that this week.
Yeah. So coming in at 14 is Hubie, and he's been moving up even though he's lost both his games. And he's been moving up.
The meme team's working.
Well, it's not working because he's not winning.
The whole thing is his team's a meme team.
Yeah.
So the team's working at what it's trying to do. It's memeing out really well.
Yeah, I just wish I didn't see Hubie meme out because he's such a great battler, and I just think it's a waste of talent right now. And I don't know. I play Hubie later in the, I think like the second week to the end of the season, and I hope he takes it more serious at that time because it'd be nice to play him at his top. I don't want to like beat him and then I just beat a meme team, you know?
Well, I feel like Mega Slowbro might help him a little bit.
Yeah, that is a transaction he did. Slowbro will make him a little bit more tanky, but then he still doesn't have clerics, support bonds. You know, he doesn't have any of that kind of stuff going out. He has no way of getting rid of rocks at all, and no one has yet to bring rocks against him.
Hubie at his best when he drafts whatever he wants. You could let Hubie pick any 11 mons, and I bet he brings defog once a season.
I don't. The best I've ever seen Hubie play is when he had an Umbreon and a Crobat, a defensive Cobrat, and then that was I think he went undefeated in his season. That's the Hubie I want to see. I don't even want to talk about his game, to be honest.
I mean, I just played my game. I wasn't really scared. He brought Maximum Beast Boost. Maximum Beast Boost was achieved, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just that good a player.
Yeah, it's your Nidoqueen just swept most of his mons towards the end, and he had like
Honestly,
no real answer for Venusaur.
I think Nidoqueen beat every single other team 1v1.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm done talking about Hubie.
Hubie, we like your team. You're great, but we want to see the Hubie we know. We want to see the Hubie we love.
Yeah. Hubie, come back to me. Come back. So, moving on then, let's move on to number 13. And number 13 is Silence. And he went away with a victory this week, right?
Yeah, but I mean, so I don't know. I'm still not sure how good of a player Silent is. I don't know him that well. But he played a bad team with bad prep, and he brought a couple good sets, and he really destroyed with those sets. Gastrodon set was amazing. Put in a lot of work. It was disgusting. But like again, his opponent didn't bring a grass move when you're facing Gastrodon, so you're not going to touch it. It just wins.
He actually brought like a good Darmanitan set. Got it killed like turn 1. Then he didn't lead with a Celigore, which was nice, and he came with some power with a Celigore as well. And then the Gastrodon setup was really good, seeing that his opponent had no way to stop Gastrodon after the stockpiles was really nice, and he just controlled the game. Like it was nice to see. Like it was nice not to see a Zen mode Darmanitan. So,
I thought his prep was better. His play was better. I'm interested to see what he does going forward. Let's see if he can beat good players now, and he'll definitely move up really fast.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's just move on to the next person, which is Tempest at number 12. And
yeah, we were pretty disagreed on the position that we had Tempest.
Yeah, so Tempest I had at 14, you had at 9, and I think that's a little bit too high for someone that's lost their first 2 games, and yeah, I think he got 6-0'd as well this game. Yep, he got 6-0'd this game as well. So why do you have him so high?
I believe he got 5-0'd.
I don't think so.
He killed the A-Muck.
Did he? Oh, okay.
He definitely killed the A-Muck.
Alright. So he 5-0'd. Whatever. So why do you have him so high?
So, I thought the thing was he didn't really play. I mean, he had big like 2 or 3 big glaring misplays. But besides that, I thought he played pretty well. His Salazzle set might have been the greatest thing I've ever seen. I was blown away by it. I know you helped him with that, so it was amazing. I hate Salazzle. I think it's a bad mon, but seeing it put in that much work was amazing.
Yeah. So go on.
Especially when you're playing a team like Manny's, I thought it blew me away. There's not much else to say about it. I thought he played really, really poorly with Bisharp and Lando and a couple of his other mons, but he played really well with 2 of his mons. And I think the biggest thing for me why it didn't feel like I could move him a lot is because I felt like a lot of players played really poorly and couldn't move up, and a lot of players played really well and couldn't move too far down, and their wins or losses. So he was in the middle ground for me, and I didn't know where to move him.
Yeah, I actually moved him up one spot just because I did think he played a lot better than he did the first game. I did help him prep with the team, and so I do know a couple like mistakes that he's made because we talked about the Salazzle set, and he got really good at the set, like better than I could ever play the Salazzle set, real fast. But the problem is, like, I showed him exactly what Manny would do against him because he's a good battler, and I'm pretty sure he's seen it before. So, and that's what happened, and he didn't adjust real fast to that. He just kind of let the Salazzle keep on dying to subbing the whole time. So he should have caught that a little bit sooner and tried to make plays off of that. The other biggest mistake I felt he did was the whole point of the Cofagrigus was to trick a Choice Scarf, and he threw it in against Muck, the only Pokemon that had knockoff, to get rid of that. Because if he could have Choice Scarfed that to the Muck, that would have been amazing, because now you know what the Muck was going to hit with, because it knows Ice Punch, it knows Fire Punch, it knows the Poison jab, so, and Brick Break, stuff like that, which really worked. But if you set it into one move, then you could play around it. Or even if he would have Choice Scarfed any of his like walls, like Meltank or Cresselia, that would have been nice. But that didn't happen. But I do think that he's getting better, and I'm always around to help and stuff. And I also told him right before we were prepping for a team, I'm like, this is gonna be the hardest match for your teams this year, because like Mandy's team was like really heavy against him in every way, just because Muck and Pilot Swine did so much to his team altogether. It was hard to break through that for him. Yeah.
I just thought he brought really great sets. The only set I disagreed with the Bisharp set. I think it was like Sub, Swords Dance.
It was Sub, Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, and Turn. Yeah. And you wanted him to go 2 dark moves.
I didn't want the sub. I heard the reason behind the sub, and I thought it was an okay idea. But I think he should have gone 3 attacking moves and gone double dark move plus Iron Head, or just maybe whatever coverage, Iron Head, Sucker Punch. But I felt like it didn't have enough firepower to kill Cresselia. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, and then his opponent did good because he had the whatever the dark berry is, it Chopo berry, something like that. To reduce the dark move, whatever that is. But I think he's gonna play better.
The only berry I know is Yachi.
That's the only one you need to know.
It's the only good berry.
Alright, so then let's move on to number 11, and it's Tyler. I have him ranked exactly at 11. You have him ranked at 12.
Yeah, we're pretty much in agreement where he goes.
Yeah, and then I battled him, so I'll let you start off talking about him.
I thought he brought like a... So the thing about you have to know about Tyler is he brings a lot of crazy sets here and there. His set, you never are going to predict all 6 mons and like the sets on them ever. He always brings some really fun stuff and some really crazy stuff and stuff that works. And you saw a lot of it. There are a couple sets you didn't get to see just because they came in at the wrong time or something, or hacks happened. But you saw Switcheroo, I believe, Linoon with Blizzard that could have killed Garchomp. You saw You didn't get to see. Apparently, the Mega Shark was special and would have killed the Tangros. So he brought really interesting sets, and he could have played them. If he could have gotten them in, he could have played them really well. The Endeavor set was amazing too. It had Rocky on his heels all game. He couldn't really get a solid footing. And it was way closer than I think any 4-0 is that I've ever seen. It was a great game overall.
Yeah, I could have totally saw him easily winning this game. He had some unluck, like he missed the blizzard on the on my guard jump with the Lanoon, and of course I'm gonna stay in with like I think I switched in guard chomp in against the Lanoon and it missed, and I was like, what the hell just happened? You know, like I was so happy it missed, but I was like, that's some good shit. The Endeavor set by the Zoroark was amazing because it was like shit. Every time Zoroark was in, I couldn't do anything because I was so scared of switching in like Tangrowth, for instance, because I needed that thing to be at maximum health because it just really walled his whole team. I would have loved to see the Sharpedo. I mean, I would have hated during the game, but would have loved to see it. Because if he did have Ice Beam and he would have killed me, because he would have killed me, I would have just sat with like my hands on my head like the Home Alone kid and be like, oh my god, what just happened?
Yeah, Tyler, if you're watching this video, just know I'm so upset that Shark didn't get to appear and put in work. That if that set put in work, you would have been god tier. It would have been, I would have loved every second.
Yeah. And again, it was nice because it was like, that didn't come because Arcanine killed it with extreme speed choice banded, and he wasn't expecting that, so that was good. Ditto won me the game towards the end because I was able to get into Registeel and throw out my rocks, and then I didn't have to worry about the Zoroark because I just took down the Flygon, so that was very helpful. He had Cotton Guard on his what is that thing? What is that?
Whimsicott.
Yeah, Whimsicott. So I was happy that I was special attacking Tangrowth with Sludge Bomb.
Oh my god, if you were Poison Jab, it would have been awesome. It would have been so cool.
That would have been so awful. But yeah, I thought he played very well, and I did not feel like it was a 4-0 at all. Yeah.
The game almost, like, during the game, it almost felt like you lost the whole time you were playing.
Yeah, he definitely had me on my heels the whole time.
Because the way he played it was so great. I have never seen a 4-0 be that close. It was a really good game by both people.
So then with that, let's move on to our number 10 spot, and that's Kid Icarus. And then Kid did lose this week, but I thought he played very well the first like 15 turns, and then after that it kind of got away from him.
Well, I think that's a lot of what you see with Kid Icarus. It kind of is how he is as a battler. You see him play really well one week and then play not so well the next week. I was kind of surprised with some of the sets he brought. I thought that a lot went wrong. In particular, I think he let Volcarona down a lot by letting Rock stay up in the field.
Yeah, he let his only removal of Savali died when rocks were up, so that really hurt Volcarona, and the fact that he didn't EV his HP right, so it didn't like come in on rocks twice and live at 1%.
But Rocky, going back to the last, going back to Tyler, you want to hear a fun statistic?
What?
So if Tyler had gotten his +6 with Cotton Guard on his Whimsicott, your Poison Jab would have done 16 to 19%. Okay, but back to Kid.
Yeah.
Kid, I think we saw a lot of what makes you an inconsistent battler. There's just stuff that you weren't prepared for. I think this was the week you brought the Licky Licky set. That was amazing.
Yes, killed the Skarmory turn 2 with the Z Fire Blast.
I know I consider myself a really great battler, and I've never made a play that good. It was, oh my lord. I feel bad that, like, if I, I would have been so on tilt from that point on in the match. I don't know what I would have done, but Byron did a good job of keep keep playing. But I felt like besides that, a lot of your sets just weren't prepared for what Byron had.
Yeah, he also I think he also made a misplay where he should have poison jabbed the Savali on the second turn.
With Sylveon, but yeah.
Yes, Sylveon, but he went for knockoffs instead, which makes it where he ends up dying, which sucked because he would have been able to get rid of the Sylveon at that point and still have
Yeah,
Knock
might
Punch
win
left.
at that point.
Yeah, and then I think there was another one where
Honestly, I would have made that prediction too, though. So I'm not. I'm definitely not gonna be mad at him for that.
See,
I think I would have done the exact same thing.
I would have because I was looking at like all the mons at that time. Nothing wants to take a poison jab from the conch other than Nidoking, but I'm pretty sure he had enough life to live anything the Nidoking wanted to do and then hit it real hard with something. So I didn't really understand it. And then there's another like unfortunate for him where he had his Zygarde dog out and he 1,000 arrows the Sylveon and it lived on 1% because that could have helped him out a lot too.
Yeah, the 1% was bad. I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know the calc off the top of my head. It could have been a low roll or a high roll. But it was unfortunate that I lived over 1%. I always hate when that happens.
Because I really think with having Licky Licky and Zygarde towards the end, I really think he would have been able to beat the Nidoking and to beat the Snorlax. I don't know about the Mew, but it would have been a lot more closer if he did.
I think the Mew pulls it out, but I thought that like there were a couple plays. I thought there were like 2 or 3 plays that really went poorly for him that decided the game, which it sucks when you see only 2 or 3 plays that really decide how the game's gonna go.
So, with saying that, let's move on to our number 9 team, and that is Ninetales, the Fall from Grace.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I don't know if you heard or if we said it before, but Ninetales got 6-0 this week.
Yeah, Ninetales got 6-0, which made made Jake drop him all the way to 10th in his ranking. I only dropped him to 6th because I still like his team and I still think he's a good battler.
I guess he got beat by the best player.
Yeah, he got beat by my number 1 player. You're like number 3.
Rocky's number 1 player.
Yeah.
But Ninetales got 6-0 this week. I'm gonna say that a few more times while we talk about him, but I also didn't think he played that bad. I think the only really bad play was the very first play of the game. Besides that, I think he played really well. I was surprised. Like, watching the game, I never would have guessed it would have been a 6-0. That Ninetales got 6-0.
Yeah, he put himself in a very bad spot turn 1, which I don't agree with him trying to predict the Hydreigon come out turn 1, especially with Mandy, because Mandy, she doesn't make those kind of plays. Like, she plays very safe, you know?
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I predict. I overpredict. I think about every possible move every time. I definitely do that. But during turn 1, just attack what's in front of you. It's the turn 1. You can come back from anything after the first turn.
Yeah, I also think that I don't know if I remember seeing Defog on his Rotom Frost, but if he had Defog to get rid of any rocks and to get rid of all the screens that caused him trouble, the game could have been a lot different as well.
Yeah, I don't think he had Defog on it because I don't think I saw it the whole game. But it could have been a really big game changer.
Yeah, that would have helped out. So he had like no hazard removal.
I'm honestly really surprised he didn't have any hazard removal because Clefable is one of the best hazard setters in the game.
Yeah. I was also upset that on his Heatran, he didn't have Toxic on it because I thought he could have Toxic a lot of things. And I know Mandy has 2 Pokemon that learn Hail Bell, but she actually didn't bring Hail Bell. So like you have to always just toxic to just make sure they bring Hillbell, because Mandy got away with it, like not having to bring a move on her Mons because of that, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I mean, Ninetales got 6-0 this week. I know. But again, like one last time, like I think he played really well. I thought the whole game, I thought that he had a really good chance to pull it off. I think the only thing that I disagreed was, like, I felt like he needed a wall breaker like Terrakion there. I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this because everyone was telling me that Terrakion was a bad bring, but if I was him, I would have brought Terrakion and it would have put in work. I know it would have done a lot of stuff, especially because Mandy's reasoning was she had Jirachi, but Jirachi lost Scarf like 4 turns into the game.
Yeah, so Mandy sent me her team, and when I saw it, I thought she lost to Terrakion as well, and I was like, I felt, I was like, man, I don't want her to lose, but I think she's gonna lose to Terrakion, because if Terrakion would have came in Swords Dance and just hit things, and then her only answer is to revenge with a Scarf Jirachi, that's not a good answer, because then you just pull it out and send Hippo in, and then Hippo's gonna take anything.
The other thing I thought was a problem was, like, I felt like he really struggled with Hydreigon the whole match, and Terrakion would have solved that problem real easy.
Oh yeah, Terrakion would have killed everything. I felt like it, like, so Clefable was not unaware. It was Magic Guard, so you're gonna do tons. You'll be able to 2-hit that thing because of that. Same thing with Vaporeon.
It gets Ironhead too.
Yeah,
and Ironhead hits most things on our team.
And then the Stone Edge would have killed the Crobat, you know, so that would have been good for that as well.
Well, I feel like to kill a Crobat would have to be Dual Dance, or he would have to be Dual Dance, and I was like, he's bringing Dual Dance Terrakion.
Well, that's what I thought. Well, I don't think so. I think it would have lived a Brave Bird, because it's only neutral, right?
If it, I mean, yes, I believe it is neutral, but I mean, it depends on the Crobat set. If it was defensive, probably.
And then all he had to do was, like, if he would have, like I said, toxic, like the Donphan, then the Donphan's not even gonna take that many hits.
I'm not sure what set Manny brought, but Zero Attack Crobat does 39 to 47 with Brave Bird.
Yeah, and then like going back to Heatran, like if you see your opponent has kind of some tanky Mons and stuff like that, bring Taunt. And Heatran's a really good taunt user because it can take almost any hit and just sit there, especially against Clefable. You know, just sits right in front of Clefable and just clicks taunt.
Yeah. Ninetales got 6-0'd, and I think that's the last thing I have to say.
Yeah, Ninetales got 6-0'd, and I agree we should move on to our number 8 spot, which is Theodore Mandy. And he ended up playing Tempest, and he won 5-0. And he was just solid.
I like you, Manny. I like you, but you just like, oh my god, your playstyle just hurts to watch, in my opinion. It's so good and so disgusting at the same time. Yeah. And the amount of recovery you have, first of all, is crazy. It's wild.
And you pair that all up with that he's legit a good battler. Like, his knowledge of stuff is really insane, and that's kind of what puts him over. Like, he has an answer for everything, which we saw. He saw the Salazzle. The Salazzle set didn't work against his team, but he found a way to play around it real easy. Really?
Yeah, I think his greatest thing he has going for him is his flexibility. Because his team's so bulky, he can sit there and just like take hits and like lose the first half of the game to win the game overall, because he's gonna know your playstyle by the middle of the match. He's gonna have an answer for everything, and like you saw the first week, it takes a crazy comeback for him to lose. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, he should be 2-0, but he lost to a couple hacks. But whatever. He came back the next week and assert his dominance, why he is the 2-time champ at the league. And he's going to move up super fast.
It's a strange feeling for me because I feel like I want to battle him, and I want to I want to battle him so I can beat him and prove that I can beat someone like him. But at the same time, his team and his playstyle scare me so much. Like it's a rough time. It's a rough time. Anyone playing Manny, like you're going into the match prepared for all his sets, and you still get hit by all of them. They still put in so much work.
Yeah, I want to play him so bad. That's my whole mission in life in Pokemon right now is to play him because I think I've played him 3 times and lost all 3 times, and they were all pretty close matches. And I want to beat him so I can say I'm the best.
I know, because right now his title is the better Rock Hands.
Oh, he is the better Rock Hands.
I mean, he's gonna be near the top of the league no matter what. He's gonna be a great player. So, I mean, to beat him, you just have to have better play and better prep, and then not get hacked either. Like, you need all the things to go in your favor.
Yeah.
That's the kind of team and kind of player Mandy is right now.
So, enough about the great Mandy. Let's go to our number 7 spot, which is Daddy Dark.
Yeah, we got Dark coming in here. And I moved him up quite a bit because I didn't move him up too much because I kept him high because I believe in him. I believe in Dark because he's amazing, and I like his team, and I like his play style, and I hated the match he played this week.
Yeah, I moved him up from last week. He was 13. I moved him up to 9. I think last week you had him at 7, and you moved him up to 5.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, like, he has one of the better teams in my opinion. And if he doesn't, like, I think Dark gets in his own head and like thinks crazy sets are coming, or like really weird stuff that are gonna beat him. But if he just plays his game, he's really, really good.
100% agree with you, and that's what you see like in this week because his sets were on fire. Oh my god, I loved it. I loved it so much. He had an answer for everything. Like he was never behind at all.
Well, and you really see how good of a player he actually is because the mons he brought, most of them are really low tier mons.
Yeah, it's funny because they're all like PU mons or NU mons other than Mamoswine, and he knew Mamoswine was really good. He's like, every time Mamoswine comes in, it's basically a kill. And then he's like, if there's anything to threaten Mamoswine out, he had the walls to stop it, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, if I look at this team, I'm really scared of Cortana, or I'm really scared of Volcanion. Like, I have to prep for those and play a lot, like play around them. But then he brings like his worst mons, and he does really well. So like, I don't know if Dark keeps playing like that, he's gonna win the rest of his games. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, he's playing super well, and I love it. He has great plans for his sets and stuff like that. So if he ends up playing bad players like Frozen, he's gonna 6-0 them.
Literally, the only bad thing I have to say is like the game was boring. It was so bad to watch. I mean, as an offensive player, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep. I'm gonna say it again. I think I fell asleep during the match because I don't remember some of it. But oh my god, the sets were disgusting. I hated every second of it, but it worked really.
Yeah, and that was like the opposite of me. I was watching this. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. What is going on? I love this so much. Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, apparently to beat Dark, you just have to hack him. That's the only way to win.
I guess. So Dark, way to move up. I think you'll be in the top 5 pretty soon, because you're at 7 right now. And all you gotta do is pass this next guy on the list, who's number 6, and that's me.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one note I have on your game is that you're a trash player. That's it. That's all I have.
Well, you know what? I am a trash player when people like Tyler bring that good shit and catches me off guard. I was pretty fortunate. I felt like I got out of that with a win. I was so scared the whole game. Like, I did not know what Tyler was bringing at any set, and he did a great job.
Well, so my actual notes here. So what I want to say is basically, to come out of that game with a win, you really had to have really great prep overall. And you definitely did. I remember we did mock battles for each other, and I don't think I ever got closer than a 4-0 I think I lost 4-0 or better every time because you had that great of prep. The mons you brought were definitely really good against his entire team. So even if you brought something crazy like Special Shark or the Linoon set they had, or you even had mons like Endeavor there, or like you were ready and you had the mons to beat it. So I feel like that's why you were able to come out 4-0 this week. It's because you still had the sets to beat it. You just had to play around it at that point.
And this goes to another test to Tyler, because I felt like those crazy sets he brought, I felt like he needed to bring those sets to be able to beat me. Like, if he would have brought the standard sets, it would have been really bad for him. So, kudos to him again on that. What I would say was, I knew what my how to win the game, and that was tank growth, that I just preserved it as much as I could throughout the whole game. And I've just played through the game step by step. That's all I did. It was nice. Also, if anyone didn't notice, 5 of my Pokemon I did not bring week 1. So I used every single one of my Pokemon in the first 2 weeks, which I thought was really good, and it's a test of my team showing that how versatile you can be with every single mon. And I enjoyed that. I like that a lot.
What mon did you bring both weeks?
Garchomp. the Terror.
Honestly, kind of surprising. I thought it would have been Arcanine.
Yeah, yeah. After I said that Arcanine will be the offensive MVP of the year. Yeah, no, I didn't.
I mean, whatever. Rocky's a trash player. Let's move on to someone way better.
And that person that's way better, coming in at number 5, is Jake.
Yeah, so me and Rocky were a little different where we ranked me. He thinks just because I have the best record and differential in the league with 2 other people, I should be ranked in the top 5, but I disagree. I think I'm a bad player, I think I have bad mons, and you guys should be ashamed that you're losing to me.
Yeah, this is totally not true at all. I'm not gonna say the player's that good, actually. Just his team is just really, really good. With a defensive core of Venusaur and Umbreon, people are gonna struggle to break through that every single week, and you saw that with Hoobi. Hoobi had trouble with the Venusaur, and then with the offensive mind of Jake, he saw that something like Nidoqueen just cleaned up that team. So you brought it scarfed, right?
Yeah, I have Scarf Nidoqueen.
Yeah, so like your team is great. It's very scary. It's the only thing I would say, it's a little bit slow, but you have so much bulk to make up for that it's, like I said, it's gonna be hard for anyone to beat you. And in that test, you're in the standings, you are number 1 with an 0-9 record right now, and that's what, a 5 and a 4. Screw you, man.
Yeah, 5 and 4 so far.
Yeah, and against good opponents, I believe, because Dark is good. We just saw that. He just 0-6 him, and Hoobi's a good battler. His team sucks. Right, sucks, but he's a good battler.
He's a good battler, and like the mons on it are good, but like they're bad together, basically.
So then, for you this week, how did it feel just playing against Hoobi with his team?
Whenever I play Hoobi, there's been a lot of times where like I beat him really handedly, and there's a lot of times where he's beaten me really handedly. And I felt no pressure on this match just because his team's that bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it was gonna be fine. I know that he was a great battler and all that, but like his team is just really hard for him to use against somebody. Like if you're able to switch around and avoid dying to something, like you don't have to worry that much.
Yeah, agreed on that. So enough about you. Let's actually talk about a good battler, and that is Byron at number 4.
In my opinion, so far, Byron has impressed me probably the most with the team he has. That Sylveon, Skarmory, Mew core is just disgusting. Like, you had to see a crazy licky set just to bring down one of them. Like, oh my gosh. And like, the Sylveon was clutch, living on 1, and just staying in and killing a lot of stuff. And the Mew set, you so unpredictable, he could bring anything. He could cover any part of his team that needs coverage or like a good set or defensive wall. It's just his defensive core is so disgusting, and then with Mega Charizard coming in to sweep with what's ever left, like it's hard. It's a hard team to beat. And I play him week 4, and I literally have no idea what to do.
Yeah,
his team is good, and he's a great player. It's wild. I could see him going undefeated this season, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be really. I don't know if I play him, but his team doesn't look fun to go against, and you add that on top that he's a wonderful battler. Like, he doesn't make mistakes, and he knows when to set up mons and stuff like that, and it's going to be hard for anyone to beat him, especially when he's playing like this. And like I said, at the beginning, I thought Kid was making all the plays, and then Byron just took over the game, and it was really hard for Kid to ever get back in the game. His team's really good, like you said. His defensive core is going to be nearly impossible to beat every week, and then he has offensive threats behind that to hit really hard. So I don't know how you're going to beat him whenever you play him.
I honestly don't even know what's on his team. Like, I know a lot of people's teams really well now, and besides Mew, Sylveon, Charmery, and Mega Charizard, I have no idea what's on Byron's team.
What else
he probably could beat most people with just those 4 mons. That's a crazy thing.
So I can check Byron's team right now and let you know how amazing his team is. So you know he has the Nidoking, he has the Snorlax, he also has Jolteon for great pivot, he has Lycanroc Midday, Blastoise, and what is that one? Gourgeist and Primeape.
And he doesn't need to bring any of those to beat you. He has 4 mons that he brings every week. You can expect them. I guarantee they're coming. And be afraid. Because with those 4 mons, he could probably beat anybody in the league if he plays it right.
Yeah. So kudos to you. We'll see if you can keep this going on for the next, I don't know how many more games. We got 9 more in the season. Let's see if you could go undefeated. That'd be nice to see. Oh wait, no, he can't go undefeated because he plays me week 8, so we don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about that, Jake.
Honestly, he'll probably beat me. We'll see. We'll have to see. I have no idea how to beat Zardex.
So then let's move on to our number 3, who moved up 1 spot in the rankings, and that's Killer. And then Killer, he ended up 6-0ing his opponent this week.
Yeah, basically what I saw was Killer's a bad player. His mons were kind of low health. I mean, he had a mon under 50% health, which was terrible. Honestly, I thought he predicted way too much. He brought bad sets. I was amazed that he didn't win 5-0 or better. 5-0 or worse. This, basically, Killer's a bad player. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
But no, really, yeah. Killer played really well. The thing is, he played well enough where I really don't have anything to say. I felt like he was in control the whole match. He didn't really do anything crazy. He kind of did exactly what I expected him to do, and won him the game pretty easily.
Yeah, and that just tests to good prepping. Like, he legit never let the Florges or the Suicune do anything. He just taunted them to death. They couldn't do anything. Then he was able to pivot, switch into something else to do damage. And he just worked his way through the whole team, basically, by doing that. So, good on him for being a good player and doing work, like actually sitting down, building a team, calculating, because it just makes the gameplay a lot easier when you do stuff like that. Unless, if you do like other stuff where you like just rush through games, like just make teams in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, you tend to play bad, and most of the time you don't lose, that you lose when you do stuff like that. Kind of like how I feel like Calexo.
I could think of one person who would like to disagree with you, Kubi, show up and show me Beast Boost.
Yeah. So, like you said, there's not much to say about Killer because he played phenomenal. He's been my number 2 the whole year so far. So just keep on doing what you're doing.
Killer, 2 times you've been number 2. You're never good enough for number 1 in Rocky's eyes. Just so you know.
Maybe he could do that. He plays me next week, so we'll see if he can beat me. And if you beat me, I just think you're number 1 at that point.
Yeah, just so you know, little prediction: Drop was gonna put in some work.
We'll see about that. That shitty ass mon ain't gonna do nothing against me.
I think it might be the best dragon that's in that match.
We'll see. So let's just move on to our number 2, and that is Nakora, your man crush.
But I mean, we're talking about Nakora. I'm here with Rocky, my 2 favorite men in the world. I love them. They're great. I don't get to see Nakora too much anymore, but I still think he's amazing. I really like his mons. Really like his playstyle. And he played a really. I mean, Rain's always really scared to play, just because you feel like there's always you always have the chance to lose a Rain, no matter how bad the team or player is. That's not saying Bryce is a bad player, or that he has a bad team. But Nakora played really well around it. His Como didn't put in as much work as I thought it should have. But besides that, I thought pretty great all around.
Yeah, and I have 2 things to add to that. Bryce's team is a bad team. He needs to fix it. Second of all, I'm starting to believe that because I haven't seen or heard from Nakora in forever. I'm starting to believe that Dark is Nakora and Nakora is Dark, because now we're seeing Dark all the time, but not Nakora.
Why would you believe that? Because that means Nakora is still here.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't have Nakora's accent, so Dark is just using his English accents right now instead of his German accent. Yeah.
No,
Whatever.
Hey, you heard it here. Dark and Nakora is the same side of it.
I want to see them in voice chat at the same time together with each other. This is what I believe. This is what I believe. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nakora, basically, you played really well. A lot like Killer's match, where there's not a whole lot to say. You basically played the match to win, and you did everything you needed to do. Mega Mawile was great. You saw it put in a lot of work. Honestly, I was a little disappointed with the way Bryce handled it, but you know, you're a great player, you're got a great team, and you're going places.
Yeah, and when a great player has a great mon like Mega Mawile, that's gonna suck for the whole league.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So let's move on to the greatest battler of all time, who came in at unanimously. Damn it, I can't even say that word. Help me out, Dick.
Yanis?
Yeah, there you go. At number 1 from both of us, which was very hard for you because that meant you had to move Nakora down even though he won.
I mean, it was the obvious choice. Basically, my notes here say, wow, what a match. Mandy, what the heck, you're really good.
Yeah, Mandy just played so good in the game. She knew, she prepped very well. She had all her walls to take on anything Ninetales wanted to bring in, and just sat there with screens, wish, pivot off of that kind of stuff, and was never in danger. I felt like she just played really safe till she wore down Ninetales' team and just finished it. And it's a 6-0, and to 6-0 someone at Ninetales level is very, very tough to do. So
wait. Did I hear that right? Did Ninetales get 6-0'd this week?
Yes, he got 6-0'd.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's crazy, right?
But yeah, honestly, Mandy, your prep was great, but your play was immaculate. It was something to watch. The match was fantastic. Even though nothing died in the first 50 turns, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. That's how good the game was. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I know she did not like that she brought screens, which is dumb in my eyes because I thought that easily won her the game. And
she's here apologizing. Yeah. She's here apologizing for her great sets and her great play, and I'm like, Mandy, just shut up. We get it. You're a dictator. You run the league. Ninetales basically gave you the win because you're a dictator. Something. You're a dictator. Blah blah blah. You're amazing. I lost my train of thought, but basically you're a dictator. Is I think what I was trying to say.
Dictator. Did we mention that Ninetales got 6-0'd?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ninetales got 6-0 this
Yeah,
week.
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, or is it crazy?
I mean, with the way Mandy's playing, it's not. Holy crap.
Right. Mandy,
her mons are. Her team's amazing. Her fucking play is even better. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll lose if she keeps playing like that.
Yeah, Ninetales, You didn't get 6-0'd because you're bad or anything. It's just Mandy was just so good. She was just so good this game. And there's nothing to feel ashamed about or anything that you got
I
6-0.
mean, you did get 6 out. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that there's 2 chances that Mandy loses the season. It's week 7, and Rocky, do you not play her? Okay,
Yeah,
one
week
chance.
4.
One chance she loses.
week
the
4.
season.
Right there.
Oh, okay. There's 2 chances you lose the season.
Yeah.
So if you play well enough those 2 times, you'll go undefeated. It'll be great. Or Jake Cows beats you like I picked in Pick'ems. Who knows?
It'll be nice to play Mandy because I haven't played her in a while, and she has gotten a lot better. And I think the only other time when she beat me is when I kind of brought a mean team where it was a dual weather. It was sun and sand on the same team. Yeah, it didn't work out well. Don't try.
I've beat Mandy every time I played her, I think, but every time I've played her, she was going through kind of like a slump a little bit. Where she was feeling kind of down about her team and stuff like that. But I hope she goes on. I hope she destroys you. I hope I play her and she's undefeated. And I see her at like the height of her power, and that she's playing really well. Cause I'd love to play against Mandy when she's playing like that.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, there's really not a whole lot to say besides that was the best match, which could take us into our next part of the video.
Yeah, which is our standouts of the week, where we tell you guys our standout, our defensive mon of the week, our offensive mon of the week, and then the game of the week. And then I'll start off because defense is amazing, and I felt the defensive mon of this week was Cafable. Like, its wish passing did wonderful thing. The screens just helped Mandy's team so much to make it where it was really hard for any of Ninetales' mons to really kill anything, and it just allowed Mandy to just wear out the whole team. Because the whole game took 79 turns, and it was because of those screens that left everything alive because of that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was picking defensive mon, I don't think you could go better than Cafable.
Yeah, Cafable is amazing. It was great.
Yeah, so offensively, I had a really hard time picking an offensive mon this week. There were a lot of people who played really well, and their mons got like 1 or 2 kills or put in like a little work, or the game was already decided or something like that. So basically, I'm gonna do a little bit of a humble brag and say that Nidoqueen was the mon of the week. You usually don't see Nidoqueen putting in as much work on offense as I have it doing. So it just sweeping the rest of Fubi's team and really winning me the match, I thought was a great way to put it at mon of the week, and the reason why it's there. So, I mean, honestly, I felt like there were a lot of really close runner-ups, but I think Nidoqueen, in my opinion, was the most important mon offensively this week.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I don't think we're being biased off of that. So that brings us to the game of the week. Who do you feel got the game of the week?
This one is so easy this week, even though I don't think I would ever put another 6-0 at game of the week, but I'm gonna have to say the match where Ninetales got 6-0.
That's game of the week. I mean, I can see it because both of them played very well, and this was the week of the beatdowns apparently. I would totally agree with you on the Ninetales and Mandy being game of the week. I think a close second would be Tyler's in my game, because if one of those little tricks that he had worked, it would have been a total
it would have been a different game. If I saw that, I would have said it. But the thing, I think the reason Mandy and Ninetales is the game of the week for me is just how exciting it was. Every turn felt like it could be a change in momentum of the battle, and there just never was like a turn where that happened, but it felt like it every turn. Every turn I was wondering who was going to take control, and then you don't see it until the end where Mandy kind of just like wears down Ninetales' team.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Totally agree. Mandy deserves all the praise that we've got her this whole video. She got number 1 ranking. She got a defensive mon and game of the week. Man, she's gonna be living up super high in the clouds.
Yeah, but the only one unfortunate thing, Mandy, is no pressure for the rest of the season, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, put that weight on her shoulder. How dare you?
No pressure for you to go undefeated and win your own league.
So, with saying that, this is our third time trying to record this, so hopefully this works out and I'll have it up for you
I'm
guys.
not recording this the fourth time. So hopefully it goes great,
Yeah,
guys.
if this doesn't work out, you'll find out because you'll just see the rankings
Yeah,
in the
we'll
chat.
post them. You'll be upset. There won't be any fun times with Jake and Rocky.
Yeah. So, for me, I'm out of here.
Yeah, goodbye, UPL friends, and play some good matches.